Hello and welcome to another edition of Addition. I'm your host, Addy Snowden. I'm a product manager at Microsoft, a mathematician, a tech optimist, futurist, artist, and creator, and I'm here every day, Monday through Friday, bringing you the news, what the hot topics are in tech, an update on the markets, some career advice, and letting you know what I'm geeked out about. So it is Tuesday, May 10th, and before I get into all of the crazy news that has happened in the past 24 hours, go ahead and hit the like button if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe if you're not already subscribed. If you want this podcast or YouTube video directly into your email inbox, you never have to check the platform. Go ahead and subscribe to the Substack. It's additionpod.substack.com. If you want to see me tweet crazy things or make funny TikTok videos, in addition to letting you know when I have new episodes out, you can follow me on Twitter or TikTok at AdditionPod. If you want to see what I'm doing on TikTok but don't want to download TikTok, you can follow me on Instagram at AdditionWithAddy. All of my TikToks I post on Instagram. You do not get all of my TikToks on YouTube Shorts though, so if you want to see what I'm doing, you need to follow me on TikTok or Instagram. All of those links are in the show notes. Okay, deep breath, because wow, last night was crazy, at least in the crypto world, and I know things aren't great in the stocks either, but I had things that I needed to do after work yesterday, but I could not get off of Twitter because of what was going on. But I'll get to the news in a second. Let's do an update on the markets real quick because we know they're not good. So Bitcoin is down 16.3% in the past 7 days, hovering at 32,186. Ethereum is down 13.83% in the past 7 days and is hovering around 2,446. LUNA, I'm calling this out here because I'm going to be talking about what the Terra LUNA scandal, fiasco, chaos later. Luna's down 59.9% in the past 7 days and is hovering at 33.87. Just so you know, maybe a few weeks ago, I bought $100 worth of Luna when it was selling at $110, okay? And I'm a conservative trader, so there are some people that put their life savings in Luna, and I will get to this later. Okay. And UST, which is supposed to be a stable coin, is actually doing well right now, hovering at 92 cents. Okay, so a lot happened, and I will get to it into the hot topics in tech. Let me briefly do the S&P and NASDAQ. So S&P is down 3.95% in the past 5 days, down 16.26% year to date. The NASDAQ is down 7.28% minus and is down to 25.7% year to date. So I've already talked about how to manage market volatility, my investing principles, investing best practices. I will link those episodes in the show notes in case you forgot. But oh my goodness, this is not a time to sell if you are wanting to sell. Obviously, people are selling, but if you can help it, hold if you can, because you're going to eat all of these losses. This is not good. Unless you have a major tax write-off that you need to do, I would not sell right now. This is not investment advice. Not investment advice, but a lot of computers. So people think that when the people are trading in the markets, it's actually humans. A lot of times it's actually bots that at certain price targets, they automatically sell based on when they bought in and what their expected gains are. So all of this selling activity, a lot of it is automatic. A lot of it is also people who already made their money and didn't take their wins when we were at all-time highs last fall, and they're selling now. You as an everyday person that maybe just put in $100, $1,000 a month or two ago to sell now, not a good idea. I'm looking at what I'm buying. I have money in my brokerage account, and I am going to take advantage of this. I'm plan on investing in the total stock market index fund or the S&P 500. I haven't figured it out yet. I decided after what happened with Bitcoin and Ethereum, I'm not investing in single stocks. I do not want to take that risk. Whew. Okay, so let's get to the hot topics in tech. And this is about the meltdown in Terra. Okay, so let's back up. What is Terra? So Terra is an ecosystem. It's an alternative, I would say, to maybe Bitcoin or Solana or Ethereum. And they have two parts to Terra. There is UST, which is their stablecoin, which stablecoins, which I've discussed in previous episodes, are pegged to a certain value. UST is pegged to the dollar. So one UST should always be traded for $1. To keep that, it's an algorithmic stablecoin. So there are different types of stablecoins. I talked about this in the stablecoin episode. I will link it in the show notes. But some stablecoins are backed by assets, and Terra is an algorithmic stablecoin. So there is an algorithm that basically manages the supply and demand of Terra based on what's going on with LUNA, which is, I would say, it's their Bitcoin or Ethereum, their currency. And LUNA had been doing very well this year, mainly because a lot of influencers were pumping LUNA. They were saying, basically, you don't know, you're an idiot if you're not investing in LUNA. When I first read about LUNA, it was in the Milk Road newsletter with Shaan Puri. And yes, I do have a bone to pick with you, Shaan Puri. He basically he gave the bull case for LUNA, why he was investing a bunch of money in it. And he said a line, he said, if your smart friends are telling you to invest in something, don't do your research, just buy it anyway. Still, I was like, I haven't heard Bankless talk about LUNA. And Bankless is one of the top crypto podcasts. I've mentioned it several times on this episode. They're basically my voice of truth because I know they're incredibly knowledgeable. Yes, they're biased towards Ethereum, but if they genuinely think it's better, then why not? They absolutely give a fair share or a platform to other competing cryptos. So while they are biased, they do share their platform. So finally, Bankless had an episode on the bull and bear case for LUNA. I still honestly wasn't convinced, but after that hype, I said, you know what, let me just put $100 in LUNA just in case. Okay. So I also talked about in a previous episode how there was a bet that went up to $20 million that someone basically challenged the founder of LUNA, aka Terra ecosystem, that LUNA will not exist a year from this point. And that was probably a couple months ago. Long story short, as you know, markets have been going down. And don't worry, if you want a more detailed analysis on this, I have several links in the show notes outlining. Well, the price of Bitcoin started falling. Typically, altcoins, which are basically coins other than Bitcoin, fall in tandem. The price of LUNA was dropping and Terra became depegged. It's reported that Terra went as down as low as 80 cents. I've also seen reports that LUNA went down as low as 60 cents. And remember, this is something that's supposed to be pegged to the dollar. So this had a massive ripple effect. So LUNA, because the price of LUNA was dropping, the company LFG, which is the LUNA Foundation Guard, they had to sell their Bitcoin, which was part of their reserve. So after that whole challenge, that bet that LUNA was going to disappear, to reinstill confidence, they bought a ton of Bitcoin. Like when I say a ton, I'm talking about like hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars in Bitcoin. It may have been 1.5 billion. Where they got that money from, I have no idea. As you know, Bitcoin is down 50% from its all-time high. So that also added selling pressure to Bitcoin, which wasn't great either. Long story short, a lot of people lost some money. A lot of people lost money, especially because the way Luna got most of its liquidity was from people staking Terra or UST on something called an anchor protocol. So they were essentially lending. That's the main reason why people were buying this, because you could get a 20% yield or return by staking your asset. So it basically got revealed as a Ponzi. And I wish I was more concise and intelligent speaking about this, but my biggest takeaways here are: don't blindly listen to influencers, including me. Like if I tell you that I'm betting on a coin, I'm investing less than $100 in it. And I also tell you this is not investment advice. And I also tell you when I'm being a degen, like when I bought Dogecoin, when I heard Elon Musk was going to buy Twitter. There are influencers out there that make it seem like they believe in the product so much, when really they just want you to buy in to their crypto. And like, I'm not going to get rich off of you guys buying ApeCoin or Luna because I invested so little. But these people that invest like thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions, they really have an incentive to get you to buy into their coin. So be very careful. I am going to ask the Milk Road and Shaan Puri to explain themselves here and see what they're going to do differently, because a lot of smart people trust this man. And, could have definitely put a lot more money than I did into Luna. Even people who thought that they were going to be buying a stable coin. Like, I never got the point of why you would put your money in stables. Yes, you can earn yield through DeFi or decentralized finance, which is basically lending your stables to other people. Why other people want to borrow your stable coins, I have no idea. But if you just wanted to park your crypto somewhere and thought, hey, why not UST? Terrible idea. Terrible idea. And these people were publicly defending their asset. And people also don't realize that UST has been depegged before, and they believe it will be depegged again. I get, like, is your 20% return worth it to you that much? If anyone tells me I'm getting a guaranteed 20% return, I'm skeptical. So beware. And Bankless came out with the information people wanted to hear yesterday. They had Raul Paul explaining what happened with UST and Terra, again, in the show notes. I'm already at 13 minutes. So quickly, I just want to mention that big tech stocks are down. And this is from CNBC. Here's the rundown. Microsoft has lost about $189 billion in value in the last 3 trading days. Tesla's markdown registers at $199 billion, months after seeing its value fall below $1 trillion. Amazon's market capitalization has declined by $173 billion. Alphabet, Google's umbrella company, is worth $123 billion less than it was last week. Graphics card maker Nvidia loss stands at $85 billion, and Facebook parent Meta Platforms has lost $70 billion in value. Okay. Not much more that I can say there. Then we're definitely in an active drawdown. I don't want to say it's a recession yet, because markets do turn around, and sometimes they turn around very quickly, but be aware that this is the sentiment that you are operating in right now. Okay. Career segment. Let's just make that the career segment. Be aware of how your company is performing. If you want to get this information, I've already shared where I get my financial news, but you should be checking on CNBC or CNN Money or Yahoo Finance or Robinhood, wherever you keep track of your stocks. And if you aren't keeping track of your stocks, make it a note to check and see how your company's doing and how your companies you're applying for are doing. companies in your general industry are doing. You should always be staying up to date. And this podcast is a great place to start. So also I'm going to go ahead and say, share this podcast with people that you know in your life need this information. I hope to guide you towards where you need to go. I obviously can't tell you everything in 15 minutes, but I will direct you where you need to go. And please leave a comment, questions. I will answer them on the pod. Okay, what am I geeked out about this week? The Circle is back. So The Circle is my favorite reality show right now. I think in general, it's on Netflix. And what I love about it, it's basically what working from home for 2 years was. You are judged on your basically social media profile. No one ever gets to see you in real time. No one gets to hear your voice. So you could be catfishing. And the person who is the most popular at the end wins $100,000. Maybe $150,000 this season because they threw in a twist. And it sounds juvenile and superficial, but what is LinkedIn? What is social media? What is Teams? What is Slack? It is your face, it is a bio, and messaging. And that is exactly what The Circle is. And that's why I love this show so much. So the first 4 episodes are out for this season 4, and they will start dropping additional batches every Wednesday. Okay, all right. Well, sorry for going over. I will see you tomorrow. Have a great day.